Hello, everyone. My name is Nana. I'm from San Diego State University. The title of my presentation is A Spatially and Temporally Explicit Framework for Simulating Daily Travel Dynamics using an integrated Bayesian network and activity-based model. Many important diseases use a vector to transmit between humans. These vector-borne diseases, which include the dengue virus, cause significant morbidity and mortality in the developing countries. And many, such as West Nile virus, have recently emerged in Western countries because they have such different lifestyles. Studying the disease alone is not enough to design the treatments and intervention strategies. Additional factors such as the geography and the climate, as well as the biology of the vector itself, must also be considered. Human movement and human mobility as one of the important geographical factors has been studied by many researchers to understand the transmission of the disease. Here is a demo developed by the Nilogo Web. In this demo, we can see that studying human mobility can help us understand how disease can be transmitted in space and time. In addition, we can also find out what mobility, what movement can generate a large amount of infection in human population. Human mobility, human movement can be categorized into migration, long-term mobility, seasonal mobility, and daily mobility in terms of their spatial and temporal scales. At a broader scales, human movement can cause the introduction and reintroduction of a disease. While at a finer scales, human movement is very important to the local and daily transmission and spread of a disease. In this study, what I am interested in is individual daily movement and travel behavior. That is how each person in a population move in space and time every. Travel demand modeling, such as activity-based models, provide a useful way to simulate human daily movements and predict travel demands at the level of individual travelers. This activity-based modeling framework can provide what activity people do, when, where, as well as what transport mode people use to conduct this activity. In the existing literature, a lot of activity-based models have been developed, such as SANDAG and Florida Mobility Simulator. These earlier activist models assume that human movements are stable and cannot be changed on the short term. However, people could have significantly different travel behavior and mobility on weekends and weekdays, and even cross days of the week. This variation in human mobility is very important to the spread and the transmission of the disease. Therefore, study aims at developing a activity-based model to generate dynamic activities of a population. To achieve this aim, we proposed a new activity-based model, BNABM. This BNABM modeling framework couples of Bayesian networks and activity-based model to calculate the property distributions for each travel activity attribute and generate alternating prediction results underlying different time budgets on weekdays and weekends to indicate individual travel dynamics. Here is the overview of this proposed BNABM. This BNABM consists of two submodules. They are synthetic population generator submodule and activity attribute simulator submodule. To simulate mobility and travels of a population, activity-based model required person level and household level information for the entire population. However, such data is never available to us. Therefore, this BNABM begins with a synthetic population generator. This submodule creates a synthetic population to represent the actual population in the study area. The input of this submodule is the census data and a traditional travel diary survey data. And the output of this submodule is a synthetic population. This synthetic population will serve as input to the activity attribute simulator submodule to simulate population, the entire population's mobility and travel behavior. The first step for this activity attribute simulator submodule is to train and retrieve BNs for 6 travel activity attributes. They are travel frequency, travel purpose, travel mode, travel duration, travel location, as well as activity duration. The second step of this submodule is prediction. The second step is to generate human mobility for the entire population. The study area. We will apply this proposed BNABM to Miami-Dade County. The region that I chose, Miami County, is that from August 1st, 2016 to May 13, 2017, Miami-Dade County experienced a serious Zika outbreak event. Studying human daily movement can help us understand how Zika was transmitted in Miami-Dade during this period. So this is actually what my census does. The data we need are census demographic data, including household size, household income, number of the workers per household, person age, and the total population, a traditional travel diary survey, GIS data, including land use, land cover, enrollment data, and the number of the schools, and YAP data. So the result. The input of the synthetic population generated submodule is the census demographic data and a traditional travel diary survey data. The travel survey data we used in this study was collected by Florida Transportation Department. They interviewed 1,253 households and asked each person in the household about the household information, personal information, and trip information. Household information include household size, household number of the workers in the household, number of the children in household, and household average income. Personal information includes age, residential status, employment type, if an individual use a vehicle. Trip information actually are the activity records. Um, they include what activity people do, where, when, and what transport mode people use to conduct the activity. The census data we use in this study is the 2000 American Community Survey in the census tract level. And the output of this submodule is the synthetic population, where each synthetic individual features the household level attributes, person level attributes, and trip level attributes. In the activity attribute simulator submodule, the input of the model train step is the traditional travel data survey, and the output of this step is the BNs for 6 travel activity attributes, including travel frequency, travel mode, travel purpose, travel duration, travel location, and activity duration. Here are the BNs built to predict the travel frequency. Here are the BNs built to predict the travel mode and the travel purpose. Here are the BNs built to predict the travel duration and activity duration. Here is the Bayesian network built to predict the travel location. In this submodule, the input of the prediction step is the synthetic population, and the output is the mobility is 1 day mobility and the travel behavior for the entire population. Based on this 1 day simulation, we also calculate the in ratio and out ratio for each census tract for 8 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening. The in ratio represents how many people or the percentage of the people who goes to each census tract. And the outer ratio represents how many people or the percentage of the people who leave this census tract. So the result, from the result, we can see that in the morning, most people actually leave their home to go to the downtown. And in the evening, most people leave downtown and back to their home. Conclusions. The case study in Miami-Dade County demonstrates the performance of this proposed BNABI. We also conduct a narrow sense of validation by validating the BNs built for 6 travel activity attributes. However, a broader sense of validation is missing, and in the existing literature, a set of validation frameworks have been proposed, such as applying the model to multiple study areas and comparing the aggregation results between these areas, or comparing the simulation of the model with another model, or comparing the aggregation simulation result of this model with additional data sizes, such as cell phone data or like social media data. So another future work for this proposed BNABM is the Bayesian network we build in this model. The Bayesian networks for like unemployment people and children originally designed to be continuous, were trained and retrieved like discretely. One of the reasons is that today most open source Bayesian network software create continuous Bayesians using linear Gaussian regression. However, this simplified regression has a good performance for employed people and students, but a bad performance for unemployed people and children. So generating and creating a continuous Bayesian network for unemployed people and children is my future work. So here is some reference in this study. So that's it. Any questions?